So without further ado, I bring up Geoff Smart. So I'm an entrepreneur like you guys. My company's called GH Smart. One of my colleagues is Karen Steves. She lives here in Boston. So she's our expert. Like, she's gonna help me answer the hard questions today and stuff. But our goal is for this to be the most valuable conversation you ever have.
Wow. Set the bar high.
Tough one. Challenge accepted.
And it's going to be the most valuable conversation because we're going to together solve our number one problem. And our number one problem is that you make hiring mistakes. And the people you count on in your businesses make hiring mistakes. So, and you don't have to take our word for it. I love it how like this topic of talent is like really, really hot right now, you guys. And Lee, your intro is very kind. I appreciate it. I feel lucky to have sort of stumbled into this space 20 years ago. I started my company, GH Smart, 20 years ago last week. And this topic of talent is considered the number one topic in business today. So says Harvard Business School surveyed CEOs globally, just saw it 3 weeks ago. Hey, what's on your mind? What's on your mind? Talent, number one, hiring talented teams. The Conference Board, which is, for those of you who don't know, it's this big research organization. Global survey of what's on CEOs' minds in 5 of 7 regions around the world. Talent, hiring talent, number one in 5 of 7 regions. And then they're just like my faves, like Richard Branson, great entrepreneur. In his new book, he says hiring, the topic we're going to spend time on today, number one topic in business. Google, Schmidt, chairman of Google, in his book, How Google Works, he says this topic that we're going to cover today is the number one topic in business. And this is the number one book on the number one topic in business. And so what I'm hoping is that we will have the number one keynote discussion together today. After I get through a whole bunch of prepared remarks, we're going to have an interactive discussion that'll be fun and exciting. Can we get the PowerPoint projector on, please? So kidding. Totally kidding. No. All right, so we're going to just have an interactive chat. So this time is going to fly super fast, and we're going to start, and it's going to be very interactive. I love this venue. I've been back here 7 times to do this talk with this group, and you guys are my favorite. Not like actually you, Cal, like personally, but the you guys who show up every year that you're leading businesses around the world. You could be my favorite. You could become my favorite. But what I need from you guys, what we need from you is like tons of interaction. Because the whole session is basically an aggressive Q&A, starting right now. What's hard about hiring talented teams?
Knowing what you need.
Oh, and this is great. You get extra credit for being the first interactor. So knowing what you need. No, I love it. It's great. So you don't shock me. Do the hand thing, and like just raise your hand. I'll call on you, and then I'll be like, you're next. We're gonna get so much interaction. It's gonna be great. So say more. Knowing what you need.
I struggle when I have to introduce a new role into the business for the first time I've not hired before.
Yeah.
Picking the competencies.
Yeah, it's like how many of you guys have a CFO on your staff already? Because that's kind of a fancy job, about 20%. How do you know how to hire a CFO if you've never hired a CFO before? Like that kind of thing, right? What else is hard about hiring? Geoff, and then we'll come around to you, please.
Making sure that they're a good fit with the leadership team.
Yeah, because it's not just about hiring talent, it's about hiring the right talent that fits. Wait, you, please?
Finding a large enough pool of capable talent.
Yeah, like where do you get the pool, right? Talent, good talent's in short supply. We're going to start here and we're going to be like, power to the right. Yes?
Fear that they may be bullshitting and doing the interview.
Does that happen during interviews?
Never to you, sir.
I know. Yeah?
I'm just a nice guy.
What are some weaknesses that you have?
I'm too nice.
He's too nice. Other fake weaknesses?
Perfectionist.
Or too hard?
Perfectionist.
I'm a perfectionist. That's like my favorite one. We've heard that, right?
I'm too organized.
Yeah, working on it. I work too hard.
We get too carried away, learning about the person, that we forget about the interview itself, and then we sort of feel that he's a really good candidate or she's a very good candidate, completely forgetting the school,
Yeah, you fall in love with the candidate, and it's like, hey, the chemistry is so good. It's amazing. They like the same sports teams I like. Yeah.
It takes a lot of time.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time, right? And as entrepreneurs, we don't have a lot of time. Coming around. You in the back, yes.
I think right sizing a candidate. So, for example, I want to hire someone that could grow with the company, but then you don't want to overpay based on maybe their skill set. So, right sizing based on compensation as well as what their skill sets are.
You bet. Did you catch that over there? So that you don't want to hire someone too expensive. You don't want to hire someone too inexpensive. You want to hire like the Goldilocks character who's just right. Coming around, Alex.
Yeah, sometimes I think I know what I want, but I don't ask the right questions.
Yeah, so even if you do, to Tim's point, kind of take the time, do some research, figure out what you want. Are you actually asking the right questions to collect the right data? Coming around, right there.
How to teach my team how to hire, so I don't interview people that are not worth of my time.
Wouldn't that be great, right? Where seriously, guys, and I'm not just hawking books here. But I'm saying if your team happened to have a copy of this and got good, and got, multi benefits for you if you are, if your team's good at